Hello. I just want to play the little theme song. Just cause. Alright, I arrived a bit late. I had to go do something. That took a while. There's like 2 people here now. That's fair enough. I'm gonna wait until more people show up, and then I'm just gonna be doing it. Once the white streaming in tonight. It's like 3 o'clock over here. So let me get straight to it. No window capture. Okay, everything seems to be almost in check. Hello, Hedgebot. First world problems. Monitor is too fucking big. Alright. This is actually really funny. How I have to move things. And do all this sort of shit. Alright, let's see more people in here today. It feels like there's more people, even though there's not many. But it's good enough. The stream's gonna be saved for posterity anyways, so. Let me lower the volume on some songs. Alright. So what we're gonna be doing today. There's plenty of things. I've noted down. This is from the previous video, so you can just put it down there. Essentially, for those who don't know, those types of streams are basically like this. You say anything that you want me to do or try out in Fusion, and I'll do it. Someone says how to make smoke. Well, what kind of it? Let's learn how to making enemies. All right, maybe I'll do that. Making an enemy. We'll make one from scratch. Casino night machine? I never tried one of those. Maybe. The casino. Maybe casino. I think you mean like a slot machine. It's a slot machine. I never tried. But we could try. Let's see. Also, some people that have requested some things, like maybe try doing a boss fight or a scrolling boss fight. The Green Hill boss, maybe you should try that one too. Basic particles, which is like, it was like a missile, and like maybe it should follow the player or something like that. How to make Mighty's attack, maybe. Mighty's attack. You could try doing that one. So, how to make Circus Ball from Spark? Oh, you mean that ball that just like moves around from later in the day? You did that one too. That one wasn't too hard. Template. Sorry, a ball from Spurk. Race flying? Possible. Race flying. You told her to do it. So let's start by doing something. There's plenty of things in here. I'm gonna label them by numbers, and then you guys need to vote on thing. I think. How do you do this? Can you like do a straw poll or something like that? I think that's what it is, right? I hope it's not like fucking paid service. So 12. So I'm gonna try doing like a straw poll or something like that. Angel Island Monkey enemy. Okay, I'm gonna add this one again. Alright, I'm gonna create a poll, and you can vote on all of them. It's a thing. Stream resume thing. Like you can like, it's a multiple choice question, but you can choose like more than 2, whatever. Alright, so I'm adding all of this shit in. I'm adding this on the off screen. Let's do it. The one that gets the most votes is the one that I'm gonna do first, and then the other ones that are come out later, I'll be doing like afterwards. And maybe if people want me to do something else, I'll skip it. Hold on, we're getting there. All right, I'm posting this one on chat. Go ahead and vote, and everything disappears. I love when that happens. Let's post it on chat. Come on and vote. I'm getting fucking off the dashboard. I'll timestamp everything later. I think. I hope I remember. I don't know, on top. I need to pay attention to OBS more, to times and whatnot. Vote on shit. I'll be waiting for like, I don't know, 5 minutes, and then when I call it something. I don't know if you can actually stop the poll, but I'll like a print screen. Make a boss as the gimmick of a hammer, but like how? Animation or something like that? I'm refreshing the poll. My ace attack is winning so far, making an enemy coming in on second place. There's some of them that are still kind of tied. I'll vote for it. Swinging effect? What do you mean by swinging effect? Oh, I forgot to refresh results. Right, Midas thing's still winning. People really want to see the process of making a boss, I feel like. I'll probably be doing that today. Underwater blur. I could try. We're gonna do some AGL SL shader coding today then. No, I don't know if I'm gonna be doing that. Underwater music, possible. We need to use Audacity though. But yeah, it's possible. Alright, refreshing again. I'm gonna be waiting 1 more minute. I'm counting, and then we're gonna start. Oh, so it's like alpha, you mean it's hammer effect as in like the ball from Green Hill Zone? Something like that? Where there's like a little trail behind it. That stuff's kind of hard, in my honest opinion. I believe Strife, the guy who made Freedom Planet, is very much an expert on that sort of thing. I am not. I don't know, I'm not very good at it particularly. It's a lot of math and object positions and stuff like that. I'm not very great at it. I guess it's very much like a learned thing. It's kind of like a lot of people like it, but like when I want to do something like that, I do it as an animation. You know, I animate everything by hand and I save it as multiple frames instead. In fact, I would actually rather like make a frame by frame animation, like drawing every frame by hand instead of actually coding it. So it's just my way of doing things. Okay, Mighty's attack seems to have won. We're gonna be doing this and then we're gonna just be doing the boss. I'm gonna keep the straw poll somewhere though. Keep voting on it though. Maybe we're figuring something out. Yeah, maybe we just do a boss and we do it like Green Hill Zone, but right now we need to be doing the thing. I should just open a new version of Not So Simple Worlds. I'm gonna be using Not So Simple Worlds ZX again. In fact, I've been thinking of submitting Not So Simple Worlds ZX to Sage so people know it exists. So I'm not sure much people do. Oops. How's the volume? Can you guys hear me just fine? I hope the music isn't too loud. All right, let's start doing something. So I think people want Midas hammer drop. Okay, I'm gonna be just adding it to Sonic himself. So I'm just gonna be adding to regular Sonic 3 Sonic. So now we just need, first of all, we're gonna need to make an animation for it. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna just grab the spinning, jumping, or whatever animation. Just grab this one. Now go over here, right click, new, and hammer, dorp. I typed dorp on purpose. Now over here, one thing that we can do is that we can duplicate the thing, Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V. And I think there's an option somewhere in here for us to resize it. Only I can remember. It's somewhere, I'm sure. Oh no, it's right click. I think it's, yeah, it's zoom. So don't keep it proportional. Final width, keep it 100. No, 100% in here. Now in percentage, we're gonna increase the height to like 130. I think by doing this, you kind of like make a little animation. Fusion already does this automatically, which is very interesting. Did it change the hotspot? No, I did not. Instead, let's do it again. Zoom and make the number of frames like 4. I fucked up. Zoom. This is a very weird feature of Fusion, but I've used sometimes to make like some like just like prototype a little particle effect or something like that. You know. Oh man, like wow. Hold on. Zoom. I'm usually like faster than this. It's proportional, of course. I don't know where it's like there's like an option to not make it blur out. Sometimes it does, sometimes it just doesn't. Oh no, it does it regardless. But that sucks. But it's just gonna be a prototyping thing. It's fine. Got a little animation there. It's something. Is it great? Nope. In fact, it's pretty bad. Better to do. So now we just make it loop. And now we got a little ball. It does a thing. I could just delete it, got 2 frames. Now we got a hammer drop animation. Or whatever it is. It's just a thing. That's a loop. Keep the speed where it is. Now, I think there will be like many ways of doing it, but right now we should probably just make that into a new action, which isn't too hard. So what we're gonna do is let's go in Sonic Actions. Maybe there's plenty of things in others. Let's go in Sonic Action. Let's create a new group. Let's make it Actions. Try to keep it as the same as every other action group. It's just for organization, really. Let's make this. This is something you can do. Action negative 3. You can't have an action in the negative. You know, there's no way this is that you can't. So, hammer dorp, cause I'm funny. All right, so now we're gonna set it to inactive, and there's always things that we can copy. Let's just copy this thing in here from Super Peel Out, and let's set our animation to -3. Why is it minus? Well, there's nowhere it says that you can't. Now, for Jesus, insert the comment. I always like to insert comments just to break the pace. Just add like a little space, and just to, like it tells my mind that this area it's like does one thing, and whatever comes after does something else. So now, instead of this action, we're gonna check something. Will be like variable values. Right to 1, and you're gonna check ground. Ground is equal to 1, which means you are on ground. It's gonna exit out of the action, so we're gonna be doing that real soon. So first, one thing that we can do is that we can go in player animation, change animation. I'm just gonna copy ours over here. Before partner equal to 0. Someone tried. There's like nothing in it. Yeah. So people tried making partner system for Worlds, man. It's so much trouble. Yeah, now we set it to hammer drop. Since the other characters don't have any, we don't really have to set it to anything. But generally, you can set it to something in just in case maybe someone is able to hack the game and play as Knuckles and use the hammer drop. Okay, so now we need to set up the action. We haven't actually set it up right. So over here, you're gonna duplicate one of those events. And then what you're gonna do is that we're gonna set it to deactivate the hammer drop. So basically, the way the action group works is that in the beginning, it deactivates every single frame, every single group, and then it checks every single number, every single action, and then it only activates that one group. But this event makes sure that everything's deactivated, so no two action groups are activated at once. So we're gonna copy this one, -3, and then we're gonna activate this activate group action 3. Flag allow directions. Those flags are probably to allow movement and things like that. We can just go and set. Oh, there's like a different. Yeah, in Delta there's like a player movement values too, because you can only store so many variables in one object. Like a little common input, let's set it to 1, 2. Just because. Now we can close everything. I like to click on a group and then select close all groups. It closes everything. It's in a way a good thing to just keep track of things. Oh, let me turn off the lights. Okay, so going back to Sonic actions, here we have hammer drop, and we already have things set, but we need to find a way to get to this group. How are we gonna do it? Well, one thing that we can do is that it's either you can actually add those things into the common or jump or whatever actions that you want, or you can just add them outside of them. I don't know exactly how we should do this. If you add outside of the actions, there's always a chance that you might activate the hammer drop when you don't want to, or it's I don't know. Let's do it in an interesting way then. So we're gonna type a new line, and we're gonna type. So let's type. We're gonna on loop. So this is a neat thing though. Oh, and it's not really a neat thing. This is actually a lot easier in code. Fusion, I think, kind of complicates it a little bit more. But essentially, a loop is an event that you can run from anywhere, and you can run it more than once. So basically, we're gonna make the event that starts the hammer drop action. We're gonna put this outside of the hammer drop action, and then we're gonna call this event anywhere. You're just gonna make it run. You just make an event run. Okay, so we're gonna type a hammer drop start. We're just calling it something that's just a name. And in this case, we're gonna set variable values, set action to -3. And this is gonna start it. You know, we can add more things in it when it's like necessary and stuff like that. For example, we can play like a sample. So like dash. I think that's from Sonic EX. Peel out release. Let's just go with that one for now. Wait, there's one called release. I don't like that this sounds like have sound air bubble, because if you type S, it only shows those. But if I press the letter D, it goes to the dash one. So I hate when people label things like this. I really just want to jump by pressing a key, because you can do that. If I press T, it goes to tails, fly down. You know, it's so much better. Yeah, this one's better. Also, be fucking careful with this button. This is like a glitch that has always been in Fusion, and if you click this button too much, what's gonna happen is that you're gonna get fucked, because Fusion's gonna fucking crash. Try avoid this button as much as you can. This isn't a joke. Just open up window over here. So sound release and action -3. And then maybe we can deactivate every group somehow. So I think we should just, and let's keep it that way for now. So now, here in common, we can do a check to start the hammer drop. So it's a new line, and we're gonna check. Let's check over here. So you go into change a global value. Not change, it's check for a global value, and then check if game character, I think it's game character, is equal to 0, which is Sonic. Let me just add a comment to separate things, and then let me also check if input alterable value. I think we should just use. Is it used for mighty as in you jump, you press the. I don't know if it was a jump button or like another button that made you do that. It's usually key A pressed is equal to 1, and there's the ground variable too. Ground is equal to 1. Except no, we need ground equal to 0 because that means we're not on ground. It needs to be the pressed one too, instead of the other one. It's jump twice, yeah. So now over here, we go to fast loops and start loop. And then we type our loop in here. But I'm not gonna type it because I'm lazy. So I go over here and I just copy and paste it, and you type 1. But it only runs this event once. Because you can't technically do like 999. It'll crash your game though, so don't do that. Right, and then this should technically activate the hammer drop, but only if we are in common action and ground is equal to 0. However, what we can do is that we can put this in jump too. So let's just put it in here. It's fine, it has to be somewhere. Right, but it has sometimes also to be somewhere else, like skidding, for example. Because sometimes you might skid off a cliff and the character will stay on a skidding animation. So you won't be able to do it over there too. Maybe rolling, for example. Maybe a character will fall off rolling. It needs to be there too. You know. And if one is wrong, then you have to change for all of them. That's one of the drawbacks of using this method, really. Now we get to change the things inside of the hammer drop. So here, I like to separate it like this. Inside of over here, there's the events that happen during the action, and over here, the events that cancel out the action. So in this case, if ground is equal to 1, one thing that we can do is that we need to make the player bounce. Because it bounces in that animation. So we're gonna set the Y speed to like something like -5. Sometimes there is a problem in worlds where if you set those sorts of things to like -5 or something like that, Sonic would not get off the ground. It's a known glitch that's been there since the days of World 0.5, and it is a problem. I think if you go in common and you find out the jump code, we've done this yesterday, and we kind of got fucked. So where's the jump? Yes, here. Oh yeah, we should also take into account the physics, so that's the thing. So if ground is equal to 1 during the hammer drop, we can just set it like this. Let's just keep it as if it's doing like a regular jump, just because it just goes to the jump action. In this case, for some reason deactivates the group, so let's just do that. And also we should go over here and insert play sample, ground pound, stomp. None of those feel right, but whatever. Right, we can also create an object and create our smoke effect. This smoke effect, I believe it's like set up so it's kind of random. So we can just go over here and just create it like to the side, or create it near this sensor, but to the side. We can create 2 of them too. I believe there's some screen shake function in this version. I just don't remember where it was. So let me see if I can find it. There's the camera. I don't remember what is the value to it. Cam shifts. Might be somewhere. I believe so. Oh, hard camera shake. So it's random hard shake. Huh? Okay, in your code, hacking weird things, cringe software places. Okay. Oh yeah, Rose. Okay, so you just set hard shake to a value and it shakes. So let's do that. I don't have to copy and paste it. We just gotta go over here, go in the big C. The value set. Then set hard shake. If you can find it. Is camera shake or hard shake? So I guess it uses a different C object, not the same one. Because I wasn't able to find it. Yeah, it's using a different one. Master camera effects. Okay. It has a little like symbol at the bottom. That's how I knew it was a different one. But yeah. How is the quality of the stream? If anyone's saying, oh, the Discord link isn't working. What do you get when you click on it? Tell me what you get. Okay, so what was it again? Oh, you need to do the hard shake. Let's find master camera effects. Yeah, it's this one. There's a C and a small s. Oh yeah, a proxy not supported. Yeah, you're using some kind of VPN or proxy. Either disable it or try getting in via mobile. Or you can just get the Discord app and not click the Discord link. And just join in through the regular Discord site. If you're already logged in, you don't have to click the link again. So, let's variable value. Hard shake. Let's set it to like 10. Alright, now we need to make the player go down immediately. So one thing that we can do is that we need to make a new line. And instead, we just set it to limit conditions, only one action event loop. So this one is only going to run once. So the group is enabled, and then it sees that this event hasn't been run yet, so it runs the damn event. But if the group is disabled and then enabled again, this thing runs again. So now we can set the alterable value, set Y speed to something like, I don't know, it's going down, it's usually positive, I think. So let's set it to like 10. Now, as far as I can tell, the hammer drop, it like stops you. It decreases your speed, there's some drag to it. So one thing that we can do is that we can go over here, variable values, also make an always. Let's just put it in there. I mean, you can just put it in here too. So instead, we're gonna set the X speed to. What am I doing? Values. X speed times 0.7. Basically, it's gonna multiply itself always by a value lower than 1, which will in turn eventually make this 0, so it's gonna gradually slow down. Right, we can try it out now. But now I think I've set the... I think somewhere... Oh, I haven't done this yet, so let me do it in here. New line. Oh, I think it's easier for me to just disable music, so it doesn't play. Alright, let's save. Make sure to save. Good idea to save. So, let's play. Before we do that, I'm gonna open up the last tutorial build and get a little line of code that was useful. One of my monitors just went out for a little while. Right. Now I got a bigger screen. So I got Sonic. There we go. You already got the hammer drop working. Except it's actually bouncing us off like the jump, but it does take into account the physics. It's loud as shit though. Let me... samples, set main volume. Oh, by the way, I know it has a music option right there. you see that there's like a music option. But as far as I can tell, this is to play MIDI. So never use it. Just play samples when you play music. Yeah, but like there's more to the hammer drop though. There's the jump strength over here, which, you know, we need to decrease it a little bit because it's actually making it jump way too high. If you hold the button, it actually jumps way too high. So now it times this to like 0.3. I think it should do it if you do it that way. I think this should be good enough. Let's try it. Yeah, now it just bounces a little bit. Although it could be like a bit stronger. Yeah, this is like surprisingly easy to code though. And we can set this to like 0.2 instead. Sonic is still like stopping really fast. Even though it says to stop by like 0.2. Let's do something more like 0.01. Should be really slow now. No, it's still like very fast. Oh, I get it. I'm being a fucking retarded. I just said it's like 0.9. Now it should be more gradual. Yeah, it's a lot more gradual now. And we can fucking spam the shit out of it. Fuck yeah. You know what? That's good. I'm not even gonna delete it. There's our hammer drop. It works. And the thing about like being on other actions that you should be able to also be able to do it through some other means. Like when just getting over here. I got damaged for some reason. Oh, I think it's because attacking is not set to 1. I'm glad I caught that in time. But this is important. So I need to set attacking to 1. And when you get out of it, it might as well set attacking to 0. Attacking means Sonic's in a ball position generally. Thank God I caught that. That's fun. I wish the hammer drop allowed you to do that. In fact, I wanna figure that out. So instead of ground being equal to 1, I'm gonna just replace this with overlapping a enemy. It still doesn't work, huh? It works generally. It worked now. Let's do it with the spiked one. Yeah, it doesn't work. Of course. Working as intended. Underwater it's fast, but it's not fast when you would fall into it. Because the water just kind of stops you. It's kind of funny that it's like that. That's it. We've done it. That's the whole thing pretty much. It's actually not a lot of code at all. There's more polish we can give to it. But yeah. I don't know what the timestamp is for this, but I think we started around 10 minutes. I'm just gonna put it 10 minutes. Hammer drop. Alright, let's start doing the next thing. Oh, well, I mean, we are going line by line, but like, it did it line by line. So, I think. Now Angel Island Monkey. In fact, I'm gonna check the straw poll again. Not sure if you guys remember it. Now just ignore Mighty's attack. You won the Angel Island Monkey. Haven't I? Oh, it's like one point. Let me see what others want. Please have a hammer on it. You just want a damn hammer on the boss. Make enemy pretty, please. Okay, I guess it's gonna be an anime and the boss, because there's plenty of stuff in it that intertwine with each other. So basically, it depends on what kind of enemy. There's this kind of enemy, and there is a regular kind of enemy. They're both kind of related. Really want to do the damn Angel Island monkey. Well, it's an enemy, so I guess... Let me think. There's plenty that we have to go through. You can do the Angel Island monkey, then you have to cover particles to a degree, so I might as well do particles first then. Because he throws the thing. Might as well do that first. So... Yeah, let's do a particle. Alright, so I'm just gonna do this. 37. Particles. Alright, let's do it. Okay, so we can use a group for this, or we can use anything else. Basically, let's make a little thing that follows the player to the game. So let's call this a missile. It's kind of like a missile that homes in on the player, just follows him. That's what we're gonna do. So first of all, I need to let's have this little arrow over here. We just want an arrow that points to any direction. Let's make it point up, because the direction is actually going to matter a little bit. Let's just have it like that. I want to delete the bottom. It's going to be easier for us to figure out what's going on once we do that. So keep this point somewhere. Let's keep it in the middle of the object. Let's do this. Crop it. Right, so here's what we're going to do. First, I'm going to go into the object and we're going to add a little qualifier to it. So this qualifier can literally be anything. Rockets. It could be that. But I want to make something completely unrelated, just so you guys figure out that those things don't do anything. So let's make it forbidden. Your face is forbidden. Let's do it. Particles. Particle control. Right, so now we're gonna set an always, and we're going to go into the forbidden object, which just shows up if you set an object to any kind of qualifier. It just kind of shows up. Right, so now we're just gonna... We need to make some alterable values for it, but the problem is that once you change alterable values of this thing, it's not gonna work. It doesn't have any name to it. So we're gonna add a name to the alterable values of the missile, and then we're gonna change that to our own. So we're gonna make a float x and float y. Now we can make those things anything, like x speed. I hear a vacuum cleaner, sorry. Y speed. And I think that's pretty much it. We really just need those two. Can I delete it? I have to delete this one. It doesn't actually delete anything when we do that. Like, someone might be asking, why do I need a float X and a float Y? I'll explain it soon enough. So we're gonna go over here, our missile object. We're gonna set... No, not set the float X. Position, set X coordinate to its float X. So now we're gonna do the same, but I just click on the object just like before, and then I set this instead to float Y, and then we're just gonna move this in here. Right, so while we're setting our X position to float X, here's the thing. This is an integer, a number, but usually it's referred to as an int. But in code, this is a float. The thing is, positions in Fusion are stored as int, so they're not stored as floats. A float is pretty much a value with decimals, basically. I think there's a lot more to it. I know for a fact, but that's pretty much it for now, and that's all you're gonna be using it for. You know, like subpixels? Like subpixels exist in like the original Mario and stuff like that. Exist in most platforming games, and you need that to set your position. Those are basically a position with subpixels. This doesn't have subpixels. So basically, we're gonna need subpixels to set it to. So if you ever want to set the position of a particle, you set its float x and float y, not its actual position. So you set x to float x and y to float y. Now, I think you need to set the value set float x, and I think you should put this before. Yeah, we should put this before. I'm gonna set it to itself. It's already over there. Value to float x plus, and I think we can just type it because we know what it is. X speed. It should work. There we go. Now we're gonna set float y to y and y. Float y. So here we're just adding whatever our x speed is to float y. So we're just moving it based on whatever the speed is. So now whatever you want to do with those things, you do it later. Now what we're gonna do is that I'm gonna copy this and keep it inactive, just so we can have something as a reference to see. Now I'm gonna click destroy, but we're not actually gonna destroy anything. So we're gonna do this. In fact, I think it might actually be a good idea to do this. Not comment. Insert, new event, start a frame, and destroy. This will make sure every particle is destroyed at the beginning of the game. So we actually have to create them, you know, because those particles are usually like launched by an object, for example, right? There's more to it too. One thing that we can do is that we can add like a kill count to it, so we can just we can always, instead of doing this, we're just using the values. Add, you know, a value. Plus a value is equal to itself plus whatever is pretty much an add. So we can set alterable value z, or add 1 to alterable value z, and then we can, just to make sure that you don't spawn like a shit ton of particles, and you can make this individually for whatever one when you want to, or you can just set a particle's alterable value z to 0 if you want to. Values compared to z is greater, is about transparency. Greater than I fucked up. So let's say like 300. I'm a bit tired today, so I'm getting a little bit off. But yeah, so basically if it's greater than 300, destroy. So it's gonna destroy that object because it's gonna keep adding it, and then if it's greater than 300, it's gonna be destroyed. Basically, since it's added 60 a second, 60 frames per second, this is gonna be like a couple of seconds, you know, like 5 or so. Let's make it 600 right now. Oh, how do you get the buttons? Yeah, sorry dude, like, you have to get someone that has it. And that's just how it is. Ask on the server, someone must have it. That's all. I can't help you with that. Okay. So also maybe just not use delta. I don't know. Okay, so now we need to work on the missile. So basically, let's just do a little example. First, we're gonna just do a little debugging. So if pressing the letter K, we're gonna create an object. We're gonna create the missile, and we're gonna create it around the player. So we're gonna create it over here, let's say. Now, something that I want to do is do an always, and now I'm gonna run a loop through all of them, so it makes sure that it actually works for all of them. You don't have to do this all the time, but it's generally a good rule of thumb. So I'm just gonna call it loop M, start a loop for every missile. So now loop on each object M. Now we can do something more like variable value, add 0.01 or like 0.3 to Y speed. This basically works like kind of a gravity thing. So now I'm gonna click play. I'm gonna press K. It just shows up and got destroyed for some reason. Oh, I get it. You see that those guys show up over there? I made a mistake. You see, when you create an object, something you absolutely need to do is this. No, it's set alterable values, set something so we can, no, here. We set the float x to its x coordinate, whatever it is. And I set float y to its coordinate. You absolutely have to do this. There's no getting around it. So now you press K, it falls. Now we got a little simple particle system that we can use to do things on. See that? It's a neat little thing. Now let's just save. Now with this, inside of this thing, we can, figure out something to do with it. In this case, we wanted to follow the player. So how exactly do we do that? Well, there's some ways of doing it. One is that we can have the missile like rotate itself to go to the player, or you can use like one of those lerp thingies. There's plenty of ways of doing it. So instead, I want to make the thing follow the player. So instead, I'm going to make a variable, and just make sure you don't make, you don't alter any of those. You just make you start by using a variable value. So you're just gonna make it a speed variable. It's a separate speed variable. I guess I can't. A speedy. Okay, so it's separate from x and y speed. But let's make sure. Let's add a value to SPD. Let's add 0.3. It's fine. So essentially, we're going to be increasing SPD over time. Now, inside of this, we can. I think you can get it to. We're gonna have to learn normalizing. That ain't good. That ain't great. So what are we gonna do exactly? I think we can set a variable value, set x speed to its own angle. Oh no, I think it's fine. This is a thing. We're gonna get angle, and then we can click on the sin over here and get a little thing. So basically, remember sine and cosine, guys, because we're gonna be using it. And then it's times SPD missile. We already know what it is, so I can just type it. Remember sine and cosine? You're gonna get fucked. So basically, we got like an angle wheel, right? And like over here, let's say this is like I think this is sine. It's sin. So basically, this is 1 and this is -1. Right, so let's say I'm over here in the angle. Then it's gonna be a value over here. So let's say this is like 0.5. Right, that's basically we're just setting the x speed to the angle. So let's say our angle is like over here, because we're gonna set y speed too. If our angle is like over here, then our x speed is gonna be like 0.1, but our y speed is gonna be set to cosine instead. I think it's gonna be like 1 or something like that. Or like cos whatever. I think if it's over here, then it's 1. Yeah, if it's over here in the sin, it'll be something like that. So basically, you have an angle wheel. You have an angle pointing towards the direction. That's where you will go. That's it. So now I set the y speed. It might be the reverse actually. Might be actually setting the x to cos. I don't know. But SPD is basically just a generic variable. So now just to test this kind of stuff out, we're gonna add a variable to our angle. So we're gonna set angle to values. No, it's to itself. God, I'm getting tired. Like +1. I always keep it to 0 generally. If you keep it to 1, it's the quality of the rotation. It's gonna look like blurred. So now we're gonna press K. It's falling, but it's rotating for some reason. Setting it to 1. Might as well set it to something else. I think it's actually going downwards. going in reverse. Oh, it's setting it to another object's angle. I'm a fucking idiot. Boring hell, this is quick sync fusion, quick 2.5 beach. What? There we go. You see that it's going in the wrong direction, right? Something we can do to fix that is to just rotate the damn thing. So press K. It's doing it now. So now you can just set this to like something else, like 5. Yeah, so let's make it like 1. Now you get a missile that goes in a direction. See it just flying? Now this is the hard part that I actually haven't planned. Look at that shit. It's beautiful, isn't it? Woo! It's beautiful. There it is. Let it fly. Be free. Now here's the thing, how do I get it to face the player? It's not really a thing I thought about too much. Let me check something. Normalize. Fuck. I'll Google this later, I misclicked. So now I need it to somehow face the player. There are plenty of ways of doing that. You can just like, you can use ifs or something like that. Or I believe you can get a vector that faces the player. Basically, a vector is interesting. It's math, it's vector math. I needed to learn this to make a Sonic engine. But basically, a vector is 2 numbers. It's an X and a Y that point in a direction. So let's say you have this and you have a vector that points over here. So it's 0.5 and 0.5 in X and Y. But then if you vary this a little bit, like let's say if I have a vector that points over here, then it's 1 in X and 0 in Y. X and Y. And over, I mean, this is not X, it would be the reverse because I'm a fucking idiot. But, you know, it'd be like, Y would be 1 and X would be 0. Essentially, it's something that points in that direction. So what you wanted was to change the angle based on this somehow. I'm kind of losing my focus. Let's see, what can we do? Face the player object. Like facing the player is probably a lot easier than I'm making this out to be. Because I think there is actually a way of doing it right inside the engine that I forgot about. I'm just... It's just that it's something new that I need to figure out and I'm absolutely mentally exhausted because I've done... I've already worked on Fark today. I already did what I had to do for the day. And it's just I'm already exhausted. So let's go. I think it's player animation. Let's change direction, I think. No, it's about Tails' tail. I think. Let me see if I can find it. There's some math in it. It's the way it sets its animation angle. Yeah, here. Okay, where's the thing for Tails' tail? Oh, it's sub-animation angle, okay. Angle calculator result. There's like an angle calculator, damn. I think I remember the angle calculator. It's all the way over there. I think the Miesian set it up. It should be here somewhere. Tools. Angle calculator. Damn. Tangent. Oh no. How was it again? How did I do this? Well, let's try something out. one thing that we can do is that we can I think I get it. I'm getting it, guys. I'm getting it. So instead of just making the angle +1, we need to set our angle to its position. No, we need to make vectors. Fuck! How do I do this in Fusion? I know what it is in code, but not in Fusion. Is there like an actual look at thing? There's not a look at. I've done this before. I know it's in order. No, it's an animation. There's like a look at thing. I remember this. It's been such a long time though. Oh, I remember that. I remember it. It's somewhere. Although there is like another, I have another idea. There's something else we can do. In any case, it's gonna be a fucking mess, but it'll be funny. It might be over here. I forgot. No, but there was like an option to make an object face a direction. It was like in direction. Oh, it was in direction. Look in the direction of. But it doesn't actually rotate. That's the thing. We can have that, but it doesn't rotate. So we can do this as much as we want. The thing is gonna just be, you know, facing whatever direction that it is. But what we can do is if we do this, there's plenty of other directions. We can somehow set the angle of the object to its own direction. The directions have a value to them, and we can exploit that somehow. So is it animation? Get direction value. Yeah. We might find some way to doing this. Set angle to its own direction. There's a value to it, but I don't know exactly what it does. I guess it's because there's just one. Oh no, there's something going on. You see that it kind of rotated a little bit? Only like something very, very small. It only did that though. I'm a fucking idiot. So instead of actually making the thing go down or adding something to SPD, I'm just gonna keep it as this. I'm just spanning a whole bunch. See that? It does work, but it's bad. Yeah, work does, but there's like something to it that prevents it from actually looking at the exact right position. I think I know what this might be. Let's fiddle with it a little bit, alright? So now we're gonna time this to like, let's time it to 90. Let's see what happens if we time this to 90. So now, let's press K. Hey, we get some. Let's make this 16 then. Yo, dude, we did it! Oh, almost. Yo, we did it! Kinda, it doesn't always work. Sometimes it points right, but sometimes it really doesn't. This really isn't great. And sometimes it kind of just fucks off. So maybe we can have the object lerp towards that angle. Remember lerping? Yeah, let's do that again. So let's keep the formula over here. Let's do that thing again. It's super useful. So this is the value that we want to set it to. So we have to set it to 1 minus, let's say 0.1 times V0 will be our position. So So let's just set it to any object as angle. Get angle. Then we set that thing later again, plus 0.1 times what we want, and put it in brackets just so it doesn't fuck up. Now we just gotta do this. Let's see what we get. Woo! Wow! That doesn't seem right. But now we have a smooth missile. At least more smooth than whatever it could possibly be. Yeah, but when it's like that, it's like all fucked. I don't really understand why it does that. It is funny though. Funny when it starts, it does all those things. This is probably the best we're gonna get for a while. There's probably another way of doing it. Yeah, it points towards the player except when the player is like over here. I don't get it. Why does it do that? Look at that. Why would it be doing any of that? Yeah, you mean the scrolling bosses, JC Universe asks. We might be doing those at some point. I'm not sure if we're going to be doing those today. It might do. People wanted to make an enemy or a boss example later, but there's a lot we need to cover before we get to it. So let's keep trying doing this thing again, at least for a little bit. So we make the object look towards that direction, but because this is like times 16, let's make it times 8 or something like that. Let's see what happens. Now it's pointing to the wrong direction, but it's not fucked. I think we just need... God damn it, that's not for me. But I think if we just tweak it a little bit, we can get that to not happen. It still does though. But it's actually kind of wrong. Let's see, at which point does it stop happening? This is debugging one. This is super funny though. But it's only if we are ahead of it. If we're ahead of it, it just starts doing it. I mean, kinda. And then it points. This is so like funky and weird. I'm just gonna keep this at times like 17 or 16 to go 16 that we got it right. It might just be that our angle value ends up being greater than 360 and then it just fucks up. I don't entirely get it, but let's just keep it that way for now. They might find a way to fix this way later on because you can't really stop on this way too much. At the end of the day, really, there's plenty of things you can do with this already, you know. So let's say we start off the missile and we want the missile to go up and just turn. Instead of setting it to deer, you can just set it to like something like, or at the angle that we want, like 90 degrees or something like that. And now when we press K, it just starts and does that. So now if we keep, let's set this, let's set SPD to like 6. And then we just press K, we get a missile that just goes like that. So this is already useful enough in this way. What I wanted to do with this is that just make a basic particle system just so we can have the monkey throwing a thing in the tree. I'm not gonna get this part to the monkey though, I'm just gonna do the thing. But now, we're just gonna set it to deer. Let's set it SPD to that. Like, it follows me up to a point. For above it and then it just fucks up. This is actually super funny. So again, let me just set it to like E plus 0.1. Let's make that like 0.5. So now we got a particle that just goes towards us until it just decides to fuck off if we're a little bit above it. Otherwise it works. I just forgot the math involved in it. I'm disappointed in myself. Because like in Unity, you got like functions that already do this for you. Hey, you can make like a flock of birds with this if you want to. But there is your missile. think it was ice that wanted it. It works. And now any object that has the particle thing will do, but like will work like a particle. So that's interesting. Let me just save. Now we need to straight move on to doing the monkey. Okay. Making bounceable spikes, so that's easy. Like copy the spring code, but replace it with the spike. Easy shit. I mean, create a new spike too. Okay. Just drinking some coke. I mean cocaine. I'm just kidding. Alright, so let's start making the monkey then. So I'm just gonna insert GIF of events. I'm gonna make this. That monkey enemy. Is anyone still in here? We got like 20 people watching, that's cool. Okay, let's do the monkey enemy. Okay, so first we probably need to... I probably also need to, in this particle, make it creating here. Have I timestamped? I think I timestamped the... Nobody asked this, but I just am asking myself. Timestamp the particle, so let's timestamp this as 1:07 40 for a monkey enemy. I'm not gonna actually make the monkey enemy. I'm just gonna have it be this. It's gonna be an object that we're gonna make it yellow. This is the monkey, guys. I'm not really sure how that monkey actually works, but in terms of the monkey moving his arms and moving up and down, that is entirely an animation. Just animated. You know, just move it around, animate the damn thing. Let's just copy those things. So for the monkey moving up, let's just add like something. Just to make it kind of feel like the monkey's kind of moving up. Let's make it flash a little bit, just so it's actually doing that. I'm really just covering the basics of making a monkey in Fusion. So this would be moving up, and you can use directions for this one, but we can, but we can't at the same time. It's fine. I'm gonna make this one, that one. Just so we don't use it up and down, just because those directions up and down are not fairly well used. I'm just flipping it. Just so, and then throwing the thing. We can make an animation for it, so we can like do a zoom. Not this, it's that one. Click, no, rotation. So number of frames to rotate into, let's set it to like 5. Clockwise. It's rotating too much. Just wanna make it be like whoop, just throwing the fucking coconut. It's like it's gonna be called an active monkey. It's like a standard Fusion active monkey. And I did counterclockwise. It never saves my settings. I hate it. Okay, let's delete this. It's like it preps up and then it just throws the damn thing. And I want it to throw when it's, you know, it's like this frame or something like that. -10, let me click apply. Oh, does it not work? Ugh. 270. Apply. Thanks. Now we got a little animation. Then make it loop just so you guys can see it. Ugh, come on, no. You see? It just kind of like moves around and throws like a thing. We don't need to do it like this though. You can also make it stop looping. It just throws once. Make it the running animation, it's fine. So now it's best that we go over here and check created start. And instead we make another active and we make this the spawner. It's best to do this sort of thing. Spawn. spawner. This is a little bit overly complicated. You don't have to use a spawner. I mean, let's not use a spawner then. Let's just go straight ahead. Create the damn thing and start. Right, so now let's go back in here. Let's add some qualifiers. Let's add enemies. Let's add the one that's targets. I think if you click on and press T, there will targets. Just so it can be targeted by shadow if you're playing as him. Did it not click? I was clicking that thing. Oh, well, I think we need to set up some variables too. So basically, just a counter. Let's just use one then. I believe the pattern of the monkey is that it just moves up and down and throws a coconut. I forgot to make the coconut. So let's create a new group called pattern. Let's make the coconut. Let's duplicate the missile. And let's make the coconut the missile. It's gonna be the missile too. Missile too. It's fine. Let's make it like yellowish. Just cause. Let's make this so people are saying in the chat. How about you go having sparks come out from Sonic? You just create an object. You just create one object. That is the sparks. And that's it. It's not too complicated. And then you set its like X speed and an X position to like a random number. That's one of the reasons why I did the particle thing. Because it's super useful. Okay, so let's do the pattern. Right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're going to do an alias, and then we're gonna add one to a counter. So this is like a fundamental of code. I think people do kind of forget. The game runs at 60 FPS. That means it's reading the code and creating the game. It's as if the game is being like created from scratch every frame. So it's creating the game from scratch every 60 times a second. That also means that the game is reading through the code, the script. So it's doing this, and then it does that, and then it does that, and then it finishes everything. And when it's done reading everything from top to bottom, and it reaches the bottom, it creates a new frame. So this counter is a value that adds 1 to itself. So if it's 1 right now, in the next frame it's going to be 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5. It just keeps going, keeps going. That's what it is. And so that also means that if it's 60, then 1 second has passed. If it's 120, then 2 seconds have passed. There are ways of doing it if you wanna. I'm gonna do it right now in a way that's gonna be less confusing for you guys, just so you can get used to it. It's less efficient, but it does work. So now we're gonna compare a value, and if counter is equal to, we need to go and find counter again. Values, a variable value, counter, I think times, wait, is it times 60 or divided by 60? Yeah, so we can do that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over here and there compare to general values, and you're gonna set this counter monkey divided by 60, and you set it to 1. Then because our value, click help by mistake, because our value is like it's like 60 a second. That means if this value is 60, then 1 second has passed. So we can pretty much just like, instead of using 60s or 60, 120 and so on, you just use seconds. This isn't as efficient because you have to divide it every time, but still. So if it's greater than 1 and lower than 2, we can set it to this or like lower or equal. Doesn't really matter in this case. Because I do believe it returns a floating point variable. At least it should. Instead of an integer like before. Position. So you can set an x coordinate, but there's gonna be a problem. There's gonna be a big problem with this. Because we can't set its position, like its position to position like minus 0.1, because it's an integer. It's not gonna move slower than that. So one thing that we can do is that we can go into the monkey and make the monkey a particle. That should be useful. Forbidden. Your face is forbidden. But instead of using counter, we need to use something like this. So we're just gonna make this. Let's just make it a C then, because it's easier. Oh. Don't. No. You can't really replace it or anything, so just replace it with that. Don't mind this. Instead, we just make it C instead. It's C of counter. And I can just do this. Now, what we're gonna do is that... Oh yeah, also one other thing is that we need to go into a new event, start a frame. If you don't do this, you're gonna get fucked. You're gonna set it's whatever float x and float y is, which would be those two variables, would be the alterable value a and b to its own position. So there we go, itself. So now we set b, which would be float y, and remember, in particle control, you have all those things set up. The thing is, alterable value a and b are always float y and float x in an object that has that qualifier. So this event is gonna play on every object that has that thing. So our object has it, so it's gonna do those things in it because our object has the qualifier. That's how moving platforms work, by the way. But it's like all fucked because we said the names wrong. It's fine though. So right now we're just at the beginning of the frame, we're setting the float x and float y to the position, to the actual position. So now we just altered the float x and float y. In fact, let's just do that. It's float y. And then there's like x speed and y speed. We don't have to change the x and y speed. Keep them the same. So now we're gonna set alterable value, set float y to itself. It's basically like subtraction. So it's values minus like 0.1. So now if you play the game, it should work. Where's the damn monkey? The hell happened? Did it do something wrong? Let me check. The monkey just kind of disappeared. Is it over here? Let me delete the particle. Let's see if it's this that is causing the issue. Yeah, it's probably that. There might be some issue with being set at the start of the frame. I don't know why it would do that though. Well, didn't you call it monkey, dude? Wait, what? Oh, I don't know what you mean, but I don't understand what this doesn't work. Maybe if you put it above particle control, it'll work. No. Oh. Instead, over here we can go in active objects and click monkey. This is one way of just debugging. Now I need to find monkey. There's so many fucking objects. About 200 actually. It might just be at the bottom of things. It's not. Did it not call it monkey? Oh, did it get destroyed? Because like one thing that we needed to do is that the alterable value z of the object, we needed to set it to something. So basically in the always we're gonna just set the value sets whatever it's alterable value k. Is it k? No, it was z. Where did I say k? Probably because I saw like the number over there. So I just set z to 0 every frame. So it's still not there. I guess it's just no. It's set to create at start. So I'm not really sure why it's doing that. Instead, let's do something like this. Where the pressing of a key like J, we create the monkey. Let's see if this is what, because then again we might just have to use a spawner. So sometimes I feel like I said those things wrong. Over here it actually says float x, float x. Fucking what? It said something else before that. So J, there's the monkey. It works. It's because it's the start of frame thing. Because of this thing. Not actually being set for some reason. I really don't know why exactly it's doing that. Let's put the after particle control. So instead we're gonna have to use some kind of spawner really. I don't think you can avoid it if you're gonna be using it that way. So basically, let's just add some corners to it. I like doing that when making spawners. So everything that has those kinds of corners is like an invisible object or like a spawner of some sorts. So now we go over here. And then over here, create it start, stop it from creating it start. And then over here, call it the monkey spawn. And it's not visible at start because it might as well not be. So at the start of frame, we run a loop through all of the spawners and then we create all the objects. So is it not over here? Is it like it's meeting count? Okay. So we want to S. And then over here, we just really need to replace this. With the loops on each object, S. But instead of creating over here, we create it over here in the object itself. So basically, when you have one of those kinds of events and you have a create object in that object, it references this one automatically. So that's really good. Let me just save it for now, just in case anything happens. Right, so basically it's gonna run that event and just create the damn monkey. There's the monkey. Now let's see if it actually goes up over time. Go up, it did not. I don't know exactly why. But, oh yeah, we deactivated. I'm being dumb. So that over there, the top would be the thing that creates the monkey, so I'll just move it somewhere else. And the pattern's way down there. So now we have the thing. Oh, and now it goes up slightly. That's cool. Now we can just pretty much make the monkey move up and down. Starter frame's weird, sometimes it doesn't trigger. And by the way, events that are in green are independent of the frame rate, so they can be called anywhere. Essentially, like they're like independent of like being read from top to bottom. You can basically make this event being read from like up there or something like that. Let me just close everything. Right. So now, give a normal texture to anyone? What are they talking about? Making like a thing of the monkey? Like adding actual monkey? I'm not gonna do that right now. But now, we need to actually set value set. No. Animation. Change animation sequence to walking, so it goes up. Now we're gonna make it compare if it's like equal. I don't think it's ever gonna be equal to something because it's just like a value that goes up. So it's kind of like a floating point. It's complicated, but basically it's never gonna be equal to anything. So you just compare the greater than 2, or like lower than 2.1, something like that. Now we can just set the animation to like stopped, and then we can make a new one of those, and then make the monkey goes down when like it's 4 seconds, and lower than 5. Oh, the monkey goes down. And then you make one of those again, but for 5 instead. This is in seconds now. So, I mean, it's not like okay, you guys should see. I've explained this before. But now we need to make the monkey go up again. Oh, and by the way, it's setting to minus. Let's set it to plus. I think plus is like going down. Negative is going up. So now we need this again. Let's make this like a 7. So now the monkey is going to be setting up to throw the object. So let's make this 8.5, and then there's 8. And like one thing that is probably necessary is that the monkey somewhat goes back to its original starting position, or else it's just gonna be just going up infinitely. It's gonna be a problem. Yeah, it might be actually really hard for you to do that, so it might be actually a good idea to like stop the monkey from doing anything after it moves once. So one thing that you might want to do is that it should always add to see if it's close to the camera. Yeah, so if it's close to the player basically, so we're gonna compare it to general values. Values, I don't know, position, distance to a point, position, x coordinate, and y. Oh yeah, of course, we need to make it like lower than the screen size is 427 in like horizontally, so pretty much that should work. So now, it's only gonna throw the coconut once, I think, at this rate of things. So I think we can just do it like this. So if it's greater than 1, then 8, we can set it to 1 in 1 actual event loops. And then we set to running, which would be the throwing animation. And this is pretty much it for this area. I set a comment, and they're gonna create this new event, and then we're gonna replace, and then we're gonna check. I'm gonna check animation, current frame, and then we're gonna check if the frame is like 6 or 7. I don't remember which frame it was of the throwing animation, but we're gonna check it anyways. And then we're gonna check if animation running is playing. So do that, and then there we go. Now if that's playing, we're gonna throw the coconut. Now we need to make a coconut. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna duplicate monkey. Now we're gonna make a coconut. New, let's get like a brownish color. Okay. I should do it. I'll do a brownish. Let's go with that. Now we're gonna make a little ball. Set the hotspot to the middle. Maybe action point too, it doesn't really matter. It's not set to create and start too, because we don't want that. Coco. It's like it says feces. That is what it is, you know. You know it. In parentheses, feces. So now we're gonna create an object. We're gonna create a coconut in the monkey. Let's put it like over here. Right? So now, this is very basic. You can add a lot more to it over time. I'm gonna set its float X and float Y's. We're making the what tutorial are we doing? We're making the monkey from Emerald Hill, I think, or Angel Island. Wait. Oh, I've been thinking of the monkey from Angel Island this whole time. But yeah, no, you can still do the monkey from Angel Island, yeah. They're very similar in a way, just a different sprite. But yeah, like, basically all the arms and whatnot, you're gonna have to animate that. You can't really do much more. Doing like all of that would be so hard. But possible, but hard. So we're gonna set as flow X to position X. Get the 0 out of there. So now set float Y to Y. And then there is already a float value in it, like the float X and float Y, because we duplicated the object. We cloned it. Right clicked and clone it. You right click and then you clone it, but you know, in the editor. Now also what you want to do is that there's an X and Y velocity. So when I set X, which is generally C, so like minus 0.2, I think, 0.1. And then we're gonna set Y to, as this is going up, it's gonna be a negative. So let's say like 7, minus 7. So now let's also add a little sound to it, for sample. Yeah, that's how I should do it. It's like a little sound, just throwing the damn hammer, damn thing. Now it's throwing an always, and now we add this one, we need to add to the alterable value y, we need to add gravity to it. So let's say let's add 0.5 to the gravity. So yeah, as far as I can tell, D is I think so. Yeah, D is like y speed, and this is like setting the y plus D, so it should be the y speed. Right. So let's try it out. Let's see if it works. Let's see our monkey. So now it moves up. Now it moves up again for some reason. And now it moves down. I should throw the thing. It almost worked. Yeah, let's see what we did wrong. So if it's greater than 1 and lower than 2, it's gonna move up. Right, but if it's greater than 2 and greater than 2.1, it should stop. But it's not for some reason. Not setting its animation to stop. So let's increase this to 0.2. Let's see if it works now. Goes up, and it stays in it. Why? I don't know. I just don't know. So let's add this instead. Let's do it like that. And now it stops. Good. Now it goes down, and instead of doing this walking, I'm gonna do animation. I think it's direction. Select direction. Let's use the back one. So now actually it's going to move to that other one. So let's do it like this too. Basically, it's only gonna run once because it's gonna be above that value for like a long time. Now it goes down. And it goes up. Yeah, but the direction wasn't changed. So I'm gonna change it again. I think this should be it. Have we done anything wrong? Let me test it out again. It goes up. It goes down. And then goes up again. And throws the damn coconut. But it kind of just flies off. So let's try it again. If you press this button, it resets the frame. That's nice. R is our debug key to keep flying. So let's see it throwing the coconut. It just keeps going up incessantly. Okay, so let's add like 1 to D and see what it does. Just to make sure, we might as well. And this is like not recommended, but let's just speed things up a little bit by adding 10 to C. See it through the coconut. Good. Now I need to set alterable values. Alterable value C to like -1 probably. And let's set the gravity to 0.1 then. Let's go with that. Through the coconut, but it doesn't exactly fall very far. So let's play it again. Now it's a bit better. You pretty much just tweak it now to actually get a good result, or the result that you want. There we go. In fact, let me keep this value in here. It's not recommended that you do something like this, just so the animation plays faster, so we can actually see the results of it. I'm adding to it twice. Now let me add other monkeys around the scene and see if it works. Because if it doesn't, there might be a problem. Now we're gonna do the destruction of the enemy. And now, shows the coconut. Another coconut fell from the sky over there. I don't know why. This monkey ain't moving. Yeah, I think I know what I did wrong. Yeah, I think I know. So basically, the same thing needs to be done for this. But it needs to be an always. Place, always, create a loop for every monkey. So now I do it like this. But for this instead. That's it. That's all we need to do. Except that this is gonna probably give us some problems. Because it sets to only one action after event loops. That can actually give us some problems. Right, so that works. And it's like stuck. Oh, we still got the hammer drop. Yeah, that's a problem. So what we need to do instead on this one is to like not use this, but instead let me see. This isn't gonna work, I think, if I do it like that. That's the thing about doing it in this way, like C is equal to 60 divided by whatever. Like it's not really right, because you can't really do an equal, because the value might never be equal to it. So that's why it's better to just do it this way. You know, like it's equal to a value, and then you don't use only one action event loops. There's a problem with using this thing and this thing together. They don't really work very well together, you know. But another way that we can do it instead, like flip it a little bit. We know that it's 5, so instead set it to 5 times 60, as in if it's equal, it would be that value. So 60 times 2 is 120. So basically 60 times 2. Let's just make this a little bit better. I hope you guys get this. This can actually be a little bit hard to figure out. Just like grasp your mind to it when it's, you know, when you're a very beginner at this sort of thing. So we're deleting this, and 60 times 8. There's also a lot to go through if you're just starting. So now it's gonna actually create more than one if we do it like that, because the frame is gonna be equal to 7 more than once. So what we can do instead of doing it like that is using C. So C is equal to 0.1. Maybe you shouldn't do it like that, but it might work. Will it work though? Because it might need another variable for this. So one thing that we can do instead is compare it to another one. So we're using like f is equal to 0. If it's greater than this and f is equal to 0, it's gonna play something. But now we just set f to something else instead. When you actually work on actual code, you're not gonna be able to use things like only one action while event loops. So you're gonna have to actually find ways of not using it. That's something that actually was kind of hard for me. I should have done it like that. What the hell? Set f to like 1. No, to 1. Alright, let's try this again. Yeah, it's actually like... No, it didn't work exactly. Yeah, but it works now with the other enemies. Yeah, there we go. Now it works for all of them. That's good. So now with this, we can also do something more like 8.3. It became this because of the way fusion is. Let me see. You can tweak it. This by the way is fundamental to making a boss fight. You know, there's no like, I'm not just doing something like this. We're gonna need to know this before we make a boss fight. Jesus Christ. Really? Am I doing shit wrong? No, it works. This is more than absolutely integral to learning boss fight. Well, Ice, it's not that fusion is confusion. Right now, this is just basic coding. Regular code is probably going to be a lot more confusing for you. There's things that you need to get over for actually learning regular code. There's a little bit of like... Regular code is absolutely insanely logical. It's pure logic. But that logic is a little bit hard to grasp, and before you grasp it, it feels a bit abstract. You know? So now we need to make sure we need to make some of the things. So you're gonna make an interaction group, and this is gonna be essentially what the player is gonna do if it interacts with the enemy. So collisions with the coconut, what we do is there was an alterable value set hurt to 1. So if he touches the coconut, he gets hurt. Come on, don't do this to me. Okay, good. Right. There we go. That's simple. And now if we touch the enemy, we'd get hurt. But here's the thing. We can just do something a lot more simple. We can just go over here, grab like the motorbug, and then copy its interaction with the player code. I think it would be this. So basically, there's also the insta shield. You need to think about those things too. So now what we do is that we drag the monkey in it instead. So pretty much everywhere you see a motorbug, you replace it with the monkey. Thing is, you can't actually drop the monkey in here. So what you do is that you click on it and you just click on the monkey, not on the spawner, the monkey. So there we go. That's really all that you need to do. Let me save, just because now we're gonna click play and we're gonna be done with the monkey. There we go. We did it. The monkey ends up firing things a little bit further, so all we need to do is really tweak the distance variable. Now, I don't think we're gonna have time today to make the boss and a scrolling boss. Should probably covering this in another stream. Oh, Jesus. Still funny. Oh, we didn't actually kill it. But yeah, we did it. So over here in this group, we got interaction. And then it got those things that we need, and then I got the pattern down over here. So I think that's it for now. I'm gonna be here for like a couple more minutes answering questions. I know we didn't cover all that much, and today we just ended up doing like reasonably complicated things that ended up being a problem, but they can't move up and down. No, they can move up and down. It just looks as if they're stopped. Let me show you. I did this instead just so we could see it just going faster. But now, it just moves up and down again. There we go. Oh, the animation has some problems now too. Ah, damn. It took a while to throw the thing because I didn't tweak things right. But yeah, it's working. Oh, here it was like probably close to the screen already. Yeah, you see them doing that? And then eventually they probably threw the ball. It should be working most likely. Oh, there's another one. And it just throws the ball. It took a little bit. It's funny. You just tweaked the variable. It's fine. Yeah. How come they only activate when they're on screen? It's this. Oh, distance. Basically, what you do to make this, you go in the monkey object, and it's the monkey. I think if you hover over it, it doesn't show you, but you go over here in position. It needs to be the compared to general values thing, which I showed before. Position, distance to a point, and then you put the position, the X and Y of the player, whatever object it is. In this case, I'm comparing it to this object, which is the center sensor of the player. It should be like a debug thing to show you that. I guess not, but yeah, it's the center sensor. It's this one. It's always at the middle, so it's a good idea to look for it. And then it just says that if it's lower, if the distance is lower than this value, which is the screen size, the monkey is gonna add 1 to C, which is the counter that does all this sort of thing, everything. I pretty much only check if they're on screen once, and then I run everything if they are on screen. There's like one small problem though. In this kind of event, sometimes you might be able to exit the screen when this event isn't when this event's like triggering. So what's gonna happen is that if you don't have this F over here, it might be triggering all the time. So it's basically as if you did this. I'm gonna show you. But yeah, it's a poop torrent. So this is a thing that has happened in games before. I've seen it, where this sort of thing happened. where the poop torrent happens. Yeah, the next is boss, but this is it for now. I'm not gonna... I've been here for 2 hours almost. I really need to take a break. But I don't think I'm gonna be back today. I'm probably back at some other point. I'll be doing the scrolling boss, but first we need to just make a regular boss. You know? So yeah, there's a poop torrent. You know what? Let's do one final thing before we go. I think we have time for that. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna make it 146 50 particle extra. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make Sonic poop because funny. I don't know, whatever. Let's just make this like a brownish color. Let's make it red. Oh, let's make him bleed. Let's make Sonic bleed like it's straight up Shadow Dream. So here's what you're gonna do. We're just gonna add an always. Oh no, we're not gonna just do an always. We're gonna make this much better. On loop. Blood. So now we're gonna make an always. And then we're gonna run the loop. Count. No, it's not that. It's this. Fast loop, start loop. They're gonna start blood. And then you're gonna do it 10 times a frame. So there's gonna be 10 particles a frame. Basically 600 particles a frame. It's amazing. And also, we should probably also add something to the blood's turbo volume Z variable so it gets destroyed eventually. Let's do an add instead of turbo volume. Add 1 to the blood variable. The K variable, whatever, Z variable. So let's add like it's supposed to destroy like over the 600. Also, let's do something else. So let's set. It's gonna be weird because Fusion just makes it like that. So like scale to X scale. It can be either X or Y, it doesn't matter. To I think times 0.9 with 0. Yeah. So this. Now just replace everything with that. But now let's create the blood instead. Cocoa feces. It still says that. It's blood. Realistic.exe. It's realistic as fuck, yo. So it's gonna set the value to X. No, to our random. Our random is random range. So it's a range between two variables. So it's gonna be 10 and 10. That's how you set it up. So a turbo value X is gonna be that, and it's just gonna be minus 2 or 3. Let's go. Oh shit, I forgot the sound. Okay. Let's have Sonic bleed. There's so many of them, the game fucked up. Let's add a better limit to it. Check it out. This is great. It's like Sonic's a fucking fountain of blood. Instead, let's set this to like minus 0.1 and it's better probably. Because now we get like a better blood. Why is it not fucking working? Oh, Jesus, man. It should work. Let me set this to like 0.1 and just see if it does anything. Fuck! No, it really doesn't. Huh, I wonder why. I wonder why it's not changing the scale. But I think we also need to make it go down. So let's do something else. Let's add the loop in here and this one in here. So now, yeah, let's keep it that way. Let's add to the ultra above value D. Let's make it fall. Let's add 1 to it. Oh, there we go. It works now. Now the blood's like actually kind of falling. Yeah, so let's add like a minus 0.1, and then let's make it realistic. It like dies super soon because of this. Let's make it 10 instead. Let's make this like a 3. And let's add 1 to turbo value D, and I think C is that. Let's make this like a 7. Sonic's like a fountain of fucking blood. This is lovely. It's like a straight up Shadow Dream. Remember that one game from last stage? That was great. This is like a negative. Now we were setting the Y speed to a randomizer too. It's not working for some reason. Oh, it's because I think this value is like supposed to be lower, I think. Fucking hell, really? Let's see. Ooh. Let's set this to like minus 30. Isn't this great? So it'd be 10 and like 0. Something like that. It's super fast too. I didn't want to make it so fast. So let me reduce the speed a little bit. So there we go. It's actually falling super fast. Because we're adding like 1 to D instead of like 0.1. No, come on, do this to me. Let me go fast for once and see what happens. There's like oh my god, the motor. Look at that. It's probably because he's hitting an enemy. Now we can do something a little bit fun with it. There's several things you can do with particles. For example, we can add to the randomizer of the X position Sonic's X speed, which means that if Sonic is going faster, the particles go along with him. So if we come to a stop, you see that the particles kind of just go. It's as if we're like very close to it. So let's not very close, but like they carry your momentum basically. So let's reduce this a lot just so we can see that effect in action. So let's do that. Pretty much Sonic's gonna be like a little fountain of blood. See that? Now we can add Sonic's Y speed, it's a thing. This is too fun. I wanna have a little bit of fun so I can hide how tired I am. See that? Like this just kinda carries Sonic's momentum. But yeah, this is particles. There's a lot that you can do with them. And it's funny that the particles are like going only certain directions. It's probably a limiter on the randomizer by itself. But yeah. Particles. You can do a lot with them. So I think this is pretty much where we're gonna end it. Check it out. This is blood. It's a blood ritual. So let's end with the best song in existence. You guys have any extra questions? You guys have anything else you want to ask before I go? I'll be here for this a little bit. Guess not. Guess nobody has a question. How made this blood when you die? What? That was awesome. Yeah, I think it was cool. We did thingies. I'm gonna be adding this to the video description. Thank God I'm doing timestamps now. Just covering a lot of things in like one video. It's reasonably fun. So I guess that's it. I'll be going, guys. See you guys some other time.